Probably got that completely wrong. Hey, what's up guys, it's Beta. By what you probably saw on the title of this video is going to be a review video about a very controversial film. The film is actually really hard to review because it's had such a mixed reception, and also because it was such a hyped film as well. You know, I just want to put that out there, that this is actually really hard to review. So even though I've scripted all of this, if it doesn't sound particularly like a sentence, that's why. Because this film made such a stir happen within the spectating world of film. You know, it was deemed to be the biggest film of the year. It was anticipated to have the best acting, the best editing, the best soundtrack, and it was meant to be this film where nothing is wrong with it because of how they advertised it. And a lot of spectators were very disappointed with how that came out when they actually ended up watching it. I, for one of those people. Although I liked the film, there were a lot of things wrong with it. And personally, I would only give it a 7.5 out of 10. Just for the plain fact of these following things that I found both wrong and right with the film. Because in reality, the film only pinpointed perfectly a very select few of the things I previously stated. And that is why I think a lot of people didn't like the film. But I will go on now to state what those things were. It's just a shame because I really wanted to love this film, and I really wanted to find nothing wrong with it in the slightest. I was so looking forward to it being one of those films where I remember it for the rest of my life for a very good reason, but I remember it for the rest of my life now for just being a film, you know, just because there were things wrong with it and there were things good with it. That's the problem, and a lot of people don't know and just can't agree what are the good things and what are the bad things, because some people find some things really bad with it, and I thought those things that they thought were bad were actually okay. So this film's really caught up a stir, you know, for that reason. First of all, the things I loved about this film were the soundtrack. A lot of people did not like the soundtrack because they thought that it was copying Guardians of the Galaxy or, you know, other films that had such a random and beautiful soundtrack. But I personally liked it because when you think about it, these guys are insane and they're gonna have a weird soundtrack where some songs are modern, some are old, some are crazy choices, and some are just the choices that you would make yourself. And that's why I really liked the soundtrack. And hey, everyone's up to their own opinion, but I thought that was actually a very good thing about the film, and a thing that I very much enjoyed about the film. Another thing was the casting. It was A+, and you couldn't fault the choices that they... Hello, Carl. You know, you couldn't fault the choices that they made about the cast. The cast was sublime, and the acting that came with that cast, it was great. It made the film somewhat bearable, and I think for a film like this, it needed to have good acting to make me want to sit down for another hour and a half. The cast and acting was just... I can't fault it. Especially, I know she only had a few lines, but I really, really liked Karen Fukuhara. That's her debut film, and quite honestly, I felt so proud, and I don't know why, to see, one, that they casted an Asian actress to play an Asian role. You know, looking at you, Ghost in the Shell, you know, fuck. And also, I'm so proud of her because she went into that character and really just made it worth the watch. And I love her, and I hope that she gets more roles in the future because she definitely deserves it. Margot Robbie. I've been watching Margot Robbie for about, God, she was in Neighbours. That was what? 2008? 2007? Can't remember now. But she was playing Donna Noble? I think that was her name. And oh my God, I loved her even then. And quite honestly, I was rooting for her. You know, me and my mum were rooting for her because she was actually, at the time, the only convincing actress in Neighbours, apart from the Carl Kennedy and Susan, because Susan, oh my God. But no, Margot Robbie, to me, personally, there hasn't been that many Harleys in the world, apart from Tara Strong, that have made me feel as connected to a character as Margot Robbie, especially someone like Harley, who actually in reality is actually a very hard character to connect with because not everyone has Stockholm Syndrome and not everyone is entitled emotionally to stay with their abuser forever to that extent. I know that is a completely different topic and maybe I will cover it one day, but in reality, Margot Robbie really just made you feel so sorry for Harley, and you really just rooted for her to get the fuck out of that relationship. The thing about the Harley in this film was that they really, really tried to push the romantic spectrum of the romantic spectrum of Harley and the Joker, which, you know, a lot of people generally think that relationship is healthy when it's not. And in this one, they really tried to deem it healthy, even though they, at the same time, showed the Joker's true colours, you know, when he left her in the car in the water, and so on and so forth. But I swear my house is making a lot of weird noises today. But in general, overall, I really did not like that they romanticised that relationship as much as they did. And a lot of people say, hey, that's what happens in the comics. Hey, you know, they romanticise them a lot in the comics. But they don't, because a lot of the time they do show that the Joker does not love Harley in a healthy way. He is an abuser at the end of the day, and I really didn't like that they romanticized that in the films. It made me uncomfortable, it made my friends uncomfortable, and it made the cinema just a little bit tense. So I really wish they didn't do that at the end of the day. I really wish they didn't. Jared Leto, though, another great casting choice. Even though he used condoms for his cast members, very, very good acting. Albeit you were only in like 5 scenes, but good acting, mate. Film wouldn't be any less good or any less bad without the Joker in that film. You know, they could have taken him out and everyone would just have been like, alright, yeah, that's cool. You know, at the end of the day, they should have either cut him out completely or added a few more scenes where his character is actually part of the script. Because sometimes it was just like, hey, I'm here, bye, I'm gone, see you in a bit, mate, see you in a bit. That probably didn't make any sense, but I don't know, I'm very conflicted about that role in this film. Although he did do it very well, there were still things that I was just like, why did you do that? Why do you choose to keep that in? Before, I'm not the hugest or the biggest DC fan, but I do appreciate the characters, and at least they got the characters right. At least they did a good job with the characters, because otherwise I would have left the cinema. Okay, but this film gets a 7.5 out of 10. 7. if the cast wasn't perfect, but it was. So yeah. Oh, I wish I liked it more than I did. What did you think about Suicide Squad? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you just want to punch the screen in the cinema in front of like hundreds of people? Let me know. And what is your most hated movie of all time? I really want to know this because, hey, everyone has their difference of opinion and it would have been quite cool to know your opinion. Remember to subscribe, like and share this video. I've been Beta and I'll see you next time.